Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our series for the night. Tonight we have a late night E-West series of Private Potato vs 210 Blechman Street. Right, having a quick look at how we got to our map as well as the bans, we did see that Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow was banned by Private Potato, while Dragonshire and Battlefield Eternity was banned by 2 Blechman Street, which will lead us to Volskaya Industries. However, let's not dally around and get straight into it. Right, and away we go. If I remember to transition, that would be properly, that'd be a very smart idea. And there we go, now that I've remembered properly. Woo! Anyway, on the left-hand side, we have Nice Beaver on the ETC, Artful Dodger on the Vala, Varin on the Anduin, Dr. Swole on the Ragnaros, and Li-Ming on Dr. Huxtable on the Li-Ming. Then we see Denominator on the Abathur. Oh, and Illidan Illido playing Illidan, Arta playing Brightwing, Slow Cheetah playing Diablo, and Blanchard, I don't know, on the Nazebo. Right. Very passive start thus far. Just getting that mid-soak, slowly clearing the waves, and just going to be rotating between the two places. Oh, good slide onto the Illidan, however does not have much of a follow-up. Up the Dodger is currently melted, trying to get probably what it looks like, stacks. However, it's very low on stacks so far. Interesting that we're seeing a mid-bot rotation. This is not very usual due to the larger rotation size between these two lanes. It's why you typically see heroes go between mid and top. Illidan trying to run down Dr. Swole, but will not do much. So, getting moment. Brightwing pings the siege camp early as the... But however decides to change their mind, probably looking for Illidan to come help them, but they did not in the end. So she's just capping for some health and mana, while Nazebo is now in a battle with Ragnaros. Not ideal for Rag, but we do see Thing of the Deep, something used less recently due to Spider Build's popularity and power spike, but a recent buff. But however, it did recently get nerfed actually in the last patch, so we do see this return to what's typically referred to as the macro Nazebo. Otherwise we see Sulfurous Hungers on Ragnaros, W build on Vala are the last of the questing talents. Good dodge by Slow Cheetah, only getting hit by one of them, however does eat a full Gleaming Orb, however not full damage. And there we see the Illidan doing the siege camp. That is one of the great powers of Illidan. He does most camps, he does most camps incredibly well, to the point where he is probably one of the best ones to probably solo take from early on, but however probably not the best to, not the fastest to take it solo, but definitely one of the best to take it solo. The safest, that's probably the better word for it. We see a charge coming out into the Li-Ming up here. She's flipped Arta, however, it does face shift onto Slow Cheetah. However, there was no damage to follow up as both Illidan was not there, neither was Nazebo. We're just hearing the autos. Yes, the excellent Illidan autos. A quick rotation up to clear this camp. Very wise before this comes up. However, will we see them head down to... Yep, we do see the side of Private Potato getting that bottom fortification camp. These camps are very important coming up to this objective, as it's almost basically having a second DPS on the objective, as you've got a small square you can stand in, and this turret has not a very limited range, but still a limited range. As we see now, both sides have one. Very early drop of their turret from the side of 210 Blechman Street. Excellent. Stunned, flip onto Artful Dodger, however, has to back out. Illidan autos Varin, trying to get the Anduin out of a fight. It's taking a lot of damage to himself. Arta actually getting hit by this back turret here, as I said, and that will be the turret getting him very down low. However, Artful Dodger comes in with the last auto. Excellent. W is starting to get that stacks up there. Okay. Red is forced to back out as Brightwing is unavailable. The healer being very important in most comps these days. Almost all comps these days. As well, they are the sustain to keep you from fight. And now Leeming is doing my favorite thing and just slowly poking this turrets to oblivion. How's Aberfur doing? He's doing wonderful. Just having a nice day up there. Meanwhile, we're just getting, again, soap coming out from both sides. Is the side of Private Potato is trying to get their lead and keep their lead. However, excellent side by Nice Beaver after that charge by the Diablo. Yes, a good flip. Dr. Swallow is getting a bit CC'd. However, Nice Beaver is going to half his first half health and will not be quite ready to full engage. Slow Cheetah also taking a large orb. Diablo getting relatively low. Excellent slide by EC. Arta getting comboed by the Li Ming. However, gets out safely. The damage was not quite there to finish them off. Excellent. And interesting that we're seeing this. Not typical that you see a try to take the gate here, as most teams will usually run it up to the top and kill this area. This well being very important. However, we're just seeing a very hard push in here. I wonder if it's because they're like, okay, your only damage here is an Illidan. We saw Nazebo bottom. However, that has changed now as Nazebo has rotated up to help clear. But this Protector is very determined to take down this fort and will do so. That is a very early fort take, especially by a single Protector. Illidan decides to dash in, but then goes, maybe not, as he goes back out almost immediately. Excellent orb hitting Slow Cheetah. However, just Protector playing it slow and safe as we only have 7 seconds left now. It's not much more reason to keep it around. I do like this aggressive rotation. Artful Dodger, however, is able to get around a wall. Polymorph being able to cut down his move speed, and that will be the Vala going down. Rough timing, considering everyone else was in the Protector for the most part. That does actually even up the experience for both sides, that one kill. However, this structure here missing will end up being a lot of extra passive XP bonus for the side of Private Potato, as also they do have those catapults coming in, making it the waves clear easier for their side than the side of 210 Blechman Street. Illidan back on doing his camp duty. However, this time we do see that Private Potato was able to get theirs out first. And we do see Heroics now coming in for the side of Private Potato. We see Lava Wave. Okay, classical. We all know what it does. I'm sure we've all been frustrated at some point out in the game going, I just want to do... Oh, wow. Charge coming down onto Ragnaros, and Ragnaros will go down right at the end. However, I thought I heard his ult. Or it could have just been his dying animation. Anyway, it's a very unfortunate death from the side of Private Potato. We do see that Nazebo's nearly finished up baseline. Anyway, back to Heroics, Vala, Rain of Vengeance, Anduin, Light Bomb, Leeming, Repulsion, and Mosh Pit on ETC. Okay, I can start to see that. There's a lot of lockdown on the side of Private Potato. That's a very fast auto-attacking Illidan, and yet we do see the Adrenal Overload on the Aberfur, something that auto-attack heroes will love, and Illidan is probably one of the more notorious auto-attack heroes with the Aberfur hat. Very aggressive by Slow Cheetah, however, there is nothing else here for the side of 210 Blechman. Interesting ults from... There's only one interesting ult on the field, really, and that will be Aberfur's Evolved Monstrosity, so we will be seeing a more macro-style Nazebo in terms of that ult. However, the rest of it does seem very team-fighty. Maybe he feels he doesn't need the ultimate evolution for the team fight, being that 5th body. Or maybe he just wants that macro advantage. Excellent slide coming out from EC. And that Mosh will catch up too. However, that will be a very good APOC to help from the escape. Arta is lower than Illidan, does not quite have the escape. However, is able to blink out. Excellent APOC to cancel that engage from Private Potato. Oh, we see Hunt going out into Ragnaros. However, Ragnaros still relatively healthy, able to dodge the zombie wall. Illidan keeps a dive on him, and that is actually Ravenous Spirit coming out to finish him off. And here we see the Lava Wave. Goodbye, minions. However, it's not quite... Oh gosh, I've zoomed in. Whoops. However, that was not quite timed properly, as the timings here on this map is putting it around at the 16-second mark and the 46-second mark. Why is that is a question? Well, This may be uncertain. I'm a bit uncertain what I'm about to say, but as the lava wave travels, it gives time for the very next minion wave to, well, spawn. And if timed properly, the minion wave can just spawn and get into this first area of the lane before it is immediately killed. Neither team willing to give up the objective just yet. We're getting Qs on Vala, just getting slow sheet of going down. Very slow completion on fire at will currently. However, Nazebo is getting a bit starting to get up there with his Voodoo Ritual. Nice light bomb, being able to stun the Diablo. Diablo had leaned into that auto attack build, so that just slowing of auto attacks means they cannot quite keep their sustain up. Varum getting relatively low. Brightwing does take it down for auto as Diablo is just clawing through the team more or less, getting that damage out and that. Oh my lord, and there's Ragnaros to follow as well as ETC. Oh, was that the Anduin to follow? Not Ragnaros to follow. Thank you, Death Timers. That was a costly fight from the side of Private Potato, who for most part have been of a lead as of the moment, considering this first fort down. However, that team fight may be a good indicator of what is to come, as we do see a relatively late game scaling team fight comp between like the Illidan and the Nazebo that while they can macro very well to start, their late game scaling is very good, especially with Illidan Aberhat, making him nigh unkillable to things such as auto attacks, and that leaves really just skill shots, which Li Ming did go Calamity, it is important to note, and that Vala did actually go W build, so there is some help against him. Okay, Mech was easily taken over by the side of 2-team Blechman after that scuffle. Okay, taking out the tower, good idea. Starting to try even up that lane, nice. Beaver does slide through and W the wave to kick it out. That was a very small W. Oh, we do see a crowd surf, I should mention that. I love that talent, one of my favorite talents. Rag goes very passive to this, looking to see if they can use Molten Core to slow down the siege of this Protector. And there we do see it now. PC managed to slide the Illidan. They would not be able to do much. Dr. Huxtable in very much danger as the Ravenous Spirit does take them out. Nice Beaver, you are in a dangerous position. Dr. Swole, again, try their best now to defend this as the team's pushing in. However, Mortal is running out of it. Illodo is, however, going to fall as they were in the middle of basically the whole of the enemy team, bar one. And Nazebo gets back in for safety. He does not feel safe outside of the car now. I do like little gun actions, they're doing well. Push coming out into EC. EC actually taking a decent amount of damage from that, but Anduin deciding to go, nope, it's going to heal this up before it's too much too late. We will not see that this level, however, as we do still have the scaling coming through, as Nazebo, a lot of people say, is not a real hero, especially not a real assassin until 20. However, we should note that Voodoo Ritual is already complete, so we are likely to see that come out from them. Anduin only one stack on Piercing Light, and Li Ming still goes into Glass Cannon, even though she is Calamity build. I've seen this become more popular as of late. However, you do need a very good team to help protect you. We're going back to safe soaking by both sides. We actually, albeit the kills are an advantage for 2-team Blechman, we do see that Private Potato is still very close in experience, down only a third of a level at the most. Naz is just stacking again, doing his thing. Meanwhile, Private Potato is deciding to push in bottom here. I do like this idea of sieging while everyone else is missing off map. And now they do know they do have some time, as they are seeing the 4-man pushing in the top for Private Potato. However, I do prefer this trade, considering the very next objective is this bottom C objective. Means that they do have this well and fort advantage in this bottom lane. Red team of 2-team Blechman will have nowhere to run back to, while at least Private Potato will have a little bit of safety, even though Illidan can nullify forts quite well with auto-attacking it and not having it be a problem. Blanchard just playing a little bit risky, just playing up there while the whole enemy team was just staring at them. However, ultimately is feeling safe and is actually looking to push this in when the enemy team is just up here. Feeling brave, feeling spicy. Does they have a choice to leave? Yep. Blanche is just throwing out abilities, and Arthur is also just running away. We're seeing a very close 5-man on the side of Private Potato now. They're probably very scared of the Illidan hunt, as that has taken out Ragnarok's tied now. And that is Blanchard in a very precarious position. Okay, I do like this play. They do see that three of the enemy side were bottom, and they decide to steal this camp. Nothing much that can be happen about this, as well. Arthur gets rooted. That is, unfortunately, very questionable. Excellent hunt by the Illidan being able to take out a lot. However, two of these heroes get taken out. Illidan will take out the Li Ming first. However, Varen getting very low as Illidan stacking on them. Li Ming will go down to Illidan, but meanwhile, Brightwing will go down to the Ragnaros. All in all, that is a good trade for the side of Private Potato, as they do at least have the Abathur who can still support in his regard, especially if we take a look at his build. We do see that Soma transference at 13, meaning he can heal, as well as the Network Carapace, so an AoE shield talent. We do see 20s are closer for the side of 210 Blechman, so they're feeling rather confident in their position thus far. We do still see Abathur getting that soak, one of his best features, some would say, one of his most powerful features. We're going to get a little bit of siege here. Illidan's thinking about it, however, does see Artful Dodger and decides to back off. Let's look at XP total. Actually, we are seeing the Zebra has soaked more of the XP for now, while Abathur has done a reasonable amount. Greater than none, but has only done 10k, only half of the Nazebo, and not even as much as Vivala. However, is situations like this where it comes up for excellent charge on the Artful Dodger. However, none of the DPS were close enough to follow up on that. We do see Nazebo only rotating down now. Illidan decided to hug Artful Dodger using that auto speed that comes from the Illidan hat to kind of just keep them low at all times. Actually, Storm Talents have come in, and that will be Vala going down first. Excellent slide by the ETC, stopping a advance. However, the Zebra Ravenous Spirit does take out Anduin before it's too late. Help take out Anduin before it's too late. And then the ETC will go down. That is a lot of poison damage. Oh my, that is the power of a late game Nazebo. Just tearing through heroes and non-heroes alike. Good phase shift on the Illidor, and that will actually take out the Li Ming. We did see Wave of Force used to try peel for themselves, however, it was not enough. Illidan Brightwing just doing so much together, especially with that Abathur hat. Right, now that we have a little bit of downtime, let's have a look at some stats real quick. We usually see pretty comparable healing from both the Brightwing and the Li Ming. A little bit of healing from ETC, well, as I assume that was his level 1. Storm Shield. Wait, was it even Storm Shield or was it this camp? It's a bit hard to tell. Interesting to choose to take this. I do like the idea. Just getting all structures down gives you that a little bit more extra room to wiggle, extra macro advantage. However, I would have liked to see this gate going down, preparing for this gate to come through. Abathur is in the Protector. That is very risky, actually. Illidan no longer has that hat to work with. And if this pops before it is... Well, before the timer runs out and before they're in a safe spot, it is a bit too late. Blanchard did get slide by Nice Beaver, however, Nice Beaver did not decide to follow up with the Mosh. Now would be the time, however, as Diablo, even though he does have an APOC, is currently in the Protector and will not be able to do anything about it. Just throw the camera up. Again, Mech is getting relatively melted. This is what I was talking about. If it gets popped while near the enemy team, Abathur will also get popped with it. Pull comes out from Varen, and that will be a disengage from the enemy. Excellent ice block by Blanchard, meaning they will not get hit. And Abathur has run away. Not that far, but still decided to run away. 7% on a Protector is actually not much at all. Not much to do now with this health now. It will get dropped to a Li Ming combo, it will get dropped to Vala. Li Ming actually taking a sizable chunk of damage from the Protector Q. As I'm trying to get both of this, but I can't quite. Oh, the Mosh gets the Zebo. Dr. Huxtable, however, does not have a damage burst follow-up. And it's getting hunted by Illidan and will go down actually to just the impact of the Illidan hunt. Nice Beaver charges, gets the flip. Blanchard actually survived that, survived that 2-on-1 gank and actually was able to turn it around. Camp call coming out from side of 210 Blackman Street as they want this siege. Interesting call, interesting call. I wonder what's happening in the team comms. Were they just removing it from map and planning something else? And yep, we do see that. Ragnaros is getting that Molten Core up, and actually that is taking a lot of poison damage very quickly. We see a very safe play as Illidan is actually deciding to say, you know what, Caster, I'm not going to play safe, and dive straight into the enemy. We're seeing respawn time is slowly being run down as we see 20 seconds and 24 seconds on the Leeming and EC respectively. Dr. Sword goes down here. That could be a game over for... Oh, that was a nice pull from Anduin, able to keep Dr. Sword alive. Let's have a quick check of this. And yep, we do see Enchant 2 Lion's Boots. That will mean it has a bit... That means there is a heal on pull. So now that pull was used, Ragnaros was able to be healed out of the poison killing him. The core, however, is slowly falling. Illidan trying his best down core actually gets a large burst heal by the Brightwing and decided to back out. ETC getting relatively aggressive, however, we see that they are not quite at Mosh yet and is unable to take anything out. And we'll be actually losing a lot of health. Dr. Huxtable goes down to be Hassid Illidan. Illidan now ending up on Vivala, actually able to not quite dodge the light bomb, but that will be too late. That is GG called, and that will be the map over to 210 Blechman Street, as we'll take a quick look at the game summary. If I remember to push tab. Right. Again, we saw very comparable healing from both Brightwing and Anduin, but Brightwing did actually kind of just edge them out of the end. That may have just been the burstiness of the late game comp for 210 Blechman Street compared to how much sustained damage there comes from Valo, as well as burst damage from Li Ming that was able to get healed up by the Brightwing. Nazebo did a lot this game with that traditional macro build. I believe still it's a very strong build, even though most people pick spiders, and we did see it pay off here a lot, as we do see 29k soak from them. The highest in the game, even beating out a Lava Wave Ragnaros. Right, that'll be it for this map. I'll quickly transition over to the map view screen. I will pause my audio as I set up the next map. Right, we see now that we have a Tomb of the Spider Queen picked up. I'm not sure who by. I can assume 210 Blechman Street, as most teams do usually pick first pick. However, let's get into the game. Right. Looking at the left-hand side, we have nice Beaver on the Kel'Thuzad. Good. I do like the spicy start. Dr. Swan, Bavarian. We'll see actually what it comes out to. Dr. Huxtable on the Zul. Artful Dodger on the Blaze. And Varan on the Anduin. I am very curious to see where this Varian comes out. I am hoping for a Smash Varian. I can pray. I can dream. I can look at talents and make a guess that we do see High King, so it could be either. On the right hand side, we have Arta on the... What are you? Joanna? Yes, Joanna. Slow Cheetah on the Artanis. Illido on the Ufa. Blanchard on the Lunara. And Denominator on Asmodan, as we see Slow Cheetah already getting kind of run down by this heavy frontline comp, gets rooted, stunned, gets actually the unstopped swap off, and is able to survive through a lot of this original team fight. Okay, a lot of buttons push, a lot of abilities trade, however no kill comes out of it, as we do see Artanis running down this Variant. I'll be very interested to see again where this goes, as either Twin Blade or Smash is still on the table. Blaze is being currently left lone bottom lane, just doing their thing. Soaking that soak. Having a grand old time. Sochi does not decide to swap yet, as we are moving away from that normal 4-man rotation mid-top, and actually just moving towards a 1-3-1 from the side of Private Potato, and well, it looks like that, in fact, 2-Team Blechman is respecting it. Artful Dodger is having what I could only describe as a miserable experience against this Lunara. I don't envy them in this situation. And that will be Azul going down as we swapped up just in time to see Slow Cheetah taking out the Azul with the Q. We do see, actually, just to look at some more talents. Blaze is getting that unstoppable. Ooh, Chain just misses. That's very unfortunate for Nice Beaver. That could have been an excellent kill. We do see Swap coming out into Dr. Stoll as Arta and Dr. Stoll are hitting them. However, just not the damage coming through here enough, as we do see Protector of Io being stacked and only at 35 stacks, which I believe is 3.5% bonus damage. It takes a while to get... Oh, wait. Yeah, it takes a while for this quest to get... Am I just reading this wrong? Yeah, 3.5% bonus. It takes a while to get that stack. That will actually be a swap and kill onto the Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad, if they get into the enemy team, unfortunately does not much have much in terms of escapes, except maybe shifting Malice at 20, but that is a very unusual pick, to put it likely. Oh yes, we see a Smash Variant. Smash Variant is actually swapped and actually goes in on Slow Cheetah. However, there is lockdown onto Anduin as the father-son combo are forced to disengage. Zul plays down bot, kind of getting sick of Lunara really, and just trying to push him in as hard as possible. And we'll be going to take this camp. There's actually not much that Blanchard could do about this, as these two heroes here will have excellent zone control, especially Blaze has been picked up a lot in the offlane for that zone control. It's a big AoE stun as well as a lot of roots, does a lot. Slow Cheetah going into Dr. Swole doesn't find anything. However, Nice Beaver does get a good combo off. I was about to say a nice combo even. If you never want me to cast you again, that's fine, I understand. I'm just going to make animal puns soon. That is the current headspace I'm at. Blanchard's just stepping up. Ooh, Denominator actually has to rotate down here as we see a collapse starting to happen. Blanchard does get hit by the Zul roots. For just out front of Big Gates, he goes on the Glacial Spike and finds the kill onto Lunara. Joanna does also have to pop Iron Skin to get out. Slow Cheetah getting very aggressive with rotation onto Artful Dodger. Illido getting the Righteous Hammer, however, not much happening in much of these abilities. Arta getting very low, very brave to step back in. Watching their health hit 600, 700 barely stepping out. But Huxel, Artful Dodger getting low. Kel'Thuzad is not swapped back in. I'm assuming that the cooldown was not quite back, and no, it wasn't. Very unfortunate. A lot of abilities traded, and only Lunara was to go down. Very good damage control by the side of 2-Team Blechman Street. To get into the comps real quick, we do actually see that we do actually see just a very good team fight comp from the side of, well, both sides actually. A little bit more macro on the side of Private Potato. However, there can still be an argument for the side of 210 with like kind of just trying to keep up macro. Illido is able to escape with their life, just being more spooked than anything else. And yeah, that wave was instantly deleted. Zul and Blaze again are very good off-lane heroes that do create a lot of pressure. Slow Cheetah does find everyone, does get hit by a chain, and will actually be hit by a combo. That combo will be starting to stack up soon enough as we look at it, as Kel'Thuzad's getting very near his ult, and that will be hurting. He is a very good late game hero and has a comp drafted around him where they don't need the wave clear from the mage as they already have so much. Arthur getting it low, getting out Blanchard, also getting dove on Dr. Swole. Excellent swap to peel from for Blanchard from Slow Cheetah. Arthur's staying in even though despite their low health, and that's Kel'Thuzad getting his baseline quest off. If anyone doesn't know what that is, that adds, I believe, I've accidentally locked onto the Blaze, 75% spell power onto his abilities. Yep, 75% spell power, so that will be melting a lot now. And the ideology behind Private Potato's comp is a massive CC chain, and that actually in a lot of instances enable very good damage from the side of their Kel'Thuzad, as the lockdown makes it easier for them to hit their combo, which makes it easier for the enemies to die. It's simple math. Check it out. And actually, we see the first Web Weaver phase going over to the side of 2-Team Blechman Street. We did see We did see that the gems were quite close on both sides. I can actually check this. Yeah, I can check this actually, as we do see a still relatively close hand in from the side of Private Potato. However, we do see almost a comparable number of gems still on the side of Team Blechman, as they decided to try push mid at first. However, that doesn't work out. So we do have still 2 others. We should see what happens to Blanchard and Illidor here, as we're getting an aggressive rotation by the whole team. Illidor has to stun the Varian. Varian does get the smash off. Blaze doesn't quite have a mana from stun by the looks of it, as I have not heard it come out, and Illidor is able to escape because of that. That's a good front gate from this. This Spider was rotated on relatively early, but because of Private Potato being able to, wanting to chase here, that they were able to get, that was at least able to get into gate. However, well is still up. This was also well protected with only losing 1 tower and gate. However, bottom did go down as 3 members of Team Blechman decided to run it back. We do see 10s coming in for Team Blechman, as we do see an engage coming out. Dr. Huxtable getting swapped, and that is a blind coming out, meaning all auto attacks will be missed. Joanna did not use... Oh, Joanna did use Blessed Shield there. I did not hear the animation, so sorry about that. So just a quick update on Asmo, a few other quests as well. We see Varian has not completed any segment of his High King's quest. Artanis is getting up to 93 Protector Eye stacks. Ufa is getting closer to finishing his level 1, where he's got 50 out of 80. And Asmo needs just 1 more dunk to finish off. Yep, we see a full combo build coming out from the side of Kel'Thuzad, as Divine Shield was used by Illidor on themselves. Wow, a Holy Word Salvation from Anduin. We do not see this often. That's a very bold choice, considering we do see a Joanna, we do see a Ufa, and we do see a... Well, we did see a lot of these heroes, however, they're dying. Artanis, I was going to say, also has a way to interrupt it. And we see Turnin coming in from the side of Private Potato. You right? Cool, just checking. We do see a relatively large wave top getting cleared up by Dr. Swole, as they're going, that's a lot of yummy experience. Going to make sure I do not miss out much of that. However, we're going to see mid being pushed here first by the core 3-man of Blaze, Anduin, and Kel'Thuzad. Slop does come actually out onto Nice Beaver. Nice Beaver then getting followed up by the W from the Condemn from Arta. However, not much damage in the way to follow up, as we do see both Lunara and Asmodam have split off. Blanchard does rotate down to help try clear this, as top was cleared. Actually, top was not cleared, I just couldn't see it behind the Varian head icon on the minimap. Artful Dodge is just looking for that charge. However, we do see this side of 2-10 Blechman rotate up. Illidor will be hit by the Root and is actually taking a lot of damage. Has to use D-Shield on himself to get himself out. However, Blanchard, well, did hit by the stun because of this D-Shield. Illidor taking a lot of damage from the Blaze combustion. Blaze just being very aggressive with their positioning, knowing that there is not quite the damage yet on the side of 2-10 Blechman to take them out. As we do see this late game comp will still take a while to come on. As we just know, as I at least know, that, oh, that's an excellent swap by Slow Cheetah. It gets Varian very low. However, Anduin is able to pull his father out of safety. And Lunara dies to the Shadow Fissure from Kel'Thuzad throughout that exchange. We see 13s coming through from the side of Private Potato, and this is usually a very good burst. If we see a few interesting talents. This Lion Speed, Enchant Boots Lion Speed, has been picked up a lot more from this side, from Anduin's recently in NGS in particular. I'm very curious about it and may need to try it out myself. We see Scythe build coming out from Zul expected. Extra slow on chains, I believe? No, cooldown reduction on chains. Okay, more chains, more damage. I like it. Shattering Throw from Varian. I can expect that this is for a direct counterpick to Joanna with her Iron Skin. Swap coming out to Nice Beaver. Nice Beaver goes straight into the core range and will go down. That will be going hit, not core range, fort range. That is a very unfortunate. Blaze gets charged off and has to pop the Unstoppable to back out. Slow Cheetah and Arta actually taking a long time. Smash Varian coming in, hitting Arta, doing a lot of damage at minus 25, doing a lot. D-Shield comes out onto the Joanna, making sure that they do not die. And that will be Artanis taking out the Zul in the process. However, Zul will go down, followed quickly by the Blaze. That will be Asmo then following up. Varian pulls out his father once again. as we see 2 forts actually going down during this phase to the Web Weavers. Quite costly actually for both sides. Quite costly in terms of kills from both sides, especially now with Lunara going down. That makes it even worse, and we do still see this Web Weaver pushing top. The building advantage alone made by this Web Weaver phase is a lot, as I believe we did see a double turn-in. I am not entirely sure. Yep, we did indeed see 2 turn-ins in a row by Private Potato, and this is, we can look at this and go, okay, they've got the momentum. How does the side of 2-Team Blechman get back in this? This is a good start, just making sure you do something safe, making sure you somehow keep up pressure. However, Blaze and Diablo are also doing the same thing, keeping that pressure on, and we see 3 people bottom with a Smash variant. Nice Beaver and Varen on the Siege camp is able to get out relatively quick. Quite dangerous, as neither of their bulkier frontliners were there. Okay, I do like this, just quickly turning in, making sure everything is safe, everything is cozy, you're not losing gems if you die. As we've seen happen a few times now for the side of 2-Team Blechman, and that will be that turn-in. However, this top wave and this bot wave do still have a lot of pressure in it, as well as now this mid wave, as their Bruiser camp was cleared out first. This Bruiser camp actually does a lot to help alleviate the pressure of the Web Weavers. Be interesting to see what happens with Web Weavers here, as well. We see a very pushed up waves in all 3 lanes. This Web Weaver getting cleared very fast. Kel'Thuzad Q does a lot for that, as well as the Zul Artful Dodger has very good siege for a tank, and we see just quick rotation up to this, as we just see that wave just disappeared, as well as the Web Weaver's health now. Excellent swap on Nice Beaver. Artanis dug deep for that, and that will be the Kel'Thuzad going down first. A lot of the damage on the side of the blue side. Blanchard getting low. D-Shield actually cleanses the poison damage coming out from Artful Dodger. Excellent 4-man stun. Tries to get a Q out on Blanchard on the way. Slow Cheetah on the Artanis health is barely missing the Ando. And what will be the call here from 2-10 Blechman? And that fight is exactly what they needed. I believe they actually took that down 16s and managed to win it. Okay, I do like this, taking down Fort now while they have not as much build defense. Slow Cheetah actually a excellent tank for... Sorry. I understand the frustrations from Nice Beaver, but I think Nice Beaver should understand that playing into a Kel'Thuzad can also be incredibly frustrating, even at the best of times. Very safe play now. We're just going back to a soft pushing in a few lanes. It looks like 2-Team Blechman is basing boss. Dr. Thrall and Baron is checking. As we see now, rotation in onto Nice Beaver, and Slow Cheetah does get that swap kill again. Very much laser focused on that Kel'Thuzad. And that'll be Andon soon to follow. Arta will be starting to stun this. We do see pings coming out from what appears to be, I believe it was Blanchard, but I'm not entirely sure, but it was at least from the side of 210 as they decide to start tearing for this boss. Okay. Not much to know as of 16 talents. We see very much sticking to builds. I'm very curious about the Artanis build leading into this percent damage. Well, actually no, I know why Triple Strike percent damage. Look at their front line. It's 3 very bulky boys. Oh, 2 very bulky boys and someone who decided to become a melee assassin, I should say. Neither teams are actually near turn-in now. I should note that Private Potato is much closer to turn, as we do see that, I believe it's this. Nope, this. Nope, this. Yes. We actually see a relatively spread out gems on, largely on Zul, but relatively spread out, while we do see a, again, relatively even spread from the side of 2-Team Blechman. I do like that, just taking the front gate and leaving. Boss is getting melted relatively quick. You don't want to necessarily die with any gems on you. The unfortunate thing about... who are you again? Who are you again, you big boy? Who are you? The thing about Azmodan, they have very good wave clear. Very good wave clear, excellent team fight. The downside, especially on this map, is because you're usually killing minions quite far away. You don't have the means to pick up the gems. As we saw, even behind that gate, 3 gems were dropped. So we're losing out a little bit of value from the side of 2-Team Blechman. if we're looking for an aggressive ping as teams want this bruise gap. I have to mute myself quickly. Oh yeah, I guess people, I'm assuming people did not want ASMR. Oh, excellent stun combo coming out as Kel'Thuzar will again go down first. We are seeing a lot of focus here. The Divine Shield did have to come out so cheap to let them survive a bit longer. Anduin gets the full duration off for the Powerword's Hollywood Salvation. As you see a full 5-man wipe happening, that'll be all gems lost. What will actually happen here, considering that also Artanis was dropped? Artanis being actually a lot of damage in Siege due to their like strong auto attack build. Okay, I like this call from. Why can't I remember your name today, Asmodan? Just running it down and taking a building while they still have the opportunity. We do now see the rest of the team joining them as they're only 3 gems off turn, and yeah, we see Blanchard has it. Okay, that's good to know. I do like this. There's a lot of pressure coming up here. Web Weavers will be pushed up very high. I do imagine actually 2 seconds, however, enemy waves will spawn. Okay, it was 4 seconds. My bad. Yep, there we see the first respawn of Kel'Thuzar. Kel'Thuzar stepping up in both to see where the whole enemy is, but do know they need to defend now before these Web Weavers get here. And that will be the first fort going down. Red playing it very safe, actually backing out up to this top fort. No. We see a good defense here by the side of Private Potato, just clearing up this wave. However, that's already a Web Weaver on call, and the Web Weavers are not the most staggered I've ever seen, but this lets them clear it relatively fast, as you saw that get melted. Zul was clearing the bottom one during all this, and as well as Kel'Thuzar's going down to help them. However, let's see what happens up here. Denominator gets a good dunk, hitting Artful Dodge for quite a lot. Blaze, unfortunately, a very large lad getting hit by that wide. And that Dr. Swole, that White Orb and Dr. Swole is pulled in and then pulled back out. Okay, we do see ult coming out from Kel'Thuzar, ult coming out from Zul as well. A lot of actual damage coming out, and Illido will come out first. However, the thing about Uther is he has buffed healing when he's dead. Actually, we see Kel'Thuzar going down, and now actually 2 free members on the side of 210 Blechman fell that phase. I wonder if that could have been better executed. However, that is still very. This is a lot of pressure on the side of Private Potato. Even if they turn in now, they will have very disadvantageous Web Weaver spawns. And we did see actually that Kel'Thuzar in that fight did pop his phylactery, meaning he did respawn immediately. However, does not have the means to get his phylactery back up quick. I say that, but we should have a quick look, and we already see it's at 3 orbs, so what do I know? Okay, so we're likely to see this wave will push and Web Weaver first because of just how pushed out bottom and top is. They're doing their best to quickly push this out, however, it was just slightly too late to get there. And this camp does a lot to actually help push back Web Weavers, and this lane is just the longest in this map, so also has not a very big advantage there. Okay, we see the 3 men on the side of Private Potato just lurking around this Web Weaver, just making it, hopefully trying to get it to gate. Blanchard wants to push up to it on the Lunara, just wanting to poke at it, and we do see the Forward Vine continue to do it, which I've only just realized it's Forward Vine now. Very good watching by me. Not something I see often outside of ARAM, but into the enemy comp, this is relatively safe, but you can question whether they want it. That gate goes down at perfect time. Blaze has to use Unstoppable. That is a good AoE Divine Shield, meaning a lot of damage is missed. Blanchard actually takes almost all their health worth of poison, and Blaze's combustion damage is slowly bleeding out and will go down at the end. However, we do see in the front line also, Joanna went down, but Blaze was traded. Not a perfect engagement from the side of Private Potato, but still a very favorable one, as it was a 2-for-1 trade. Let's see what Red do here. We do see that Private Potato do very much want this fort, and they're trying their best to take it out. And unfortunately for the side of 210, they don't have the best means to stop them, as that is still a very healthy meeple. Dr. Swole, interestingly aggressive, does get stunned by Illido. However, will be able to keep running, as that catapult will take out the fort. And just like that, we have almost at exactly even structures. Nice Beaver does stop boss. Have a very... probably not actually that risky, as now we will have this boss going straight to core, as well as we do still have 2 at least pseudo frontliners taking the shots for them. Artanis does now scout out that they are there and is wanting to step onto this. Good dunk coming out, however, no one is able to touch on time. Actually, Artanis gets a swap and is able to take out Varian to start. That is a large chunk of their damage. Kel'Thuzad being zoned out by the Esmeralda. Esmeralda, however, took way too much for health and damage due to the poison circle, as well as... I can't remember what else is called. And that is 2 more down on the side of 210 Blechman, and we may actually see the game end here, as that is a 21-minute boss, as well as a 2-man advantage on the side of Private Potato. Okay, Blaze just slowly stepping up. The team taking their time with the boss, don't want to overextend. That Formwood Vine doing a lot of just poison damage, just slowly getting it up there. Blaze does have Flash Fire, however, it doesn't find anything actually. Oh, that's a lot of damage coming out onto the being Lunara, as they take a lot of the health. Dr. Huxtable getting low as well, however, Court is going down relatively quick. This boss needs to be burnt, however, neither Joanna or this Lunara has the necessary damage to kill, as we see the core going down faster than the boss itself, and that will be a good round from both sides. Let's quickly throw it over to the game summary screen. That was the wrong transition, but it should work out. We saw a lot more healing coming out from the Anduin Ufa. Ufa actually doesn't quite have the healing to deal with that much kind of poison damage, as we saw a few times that people just did keep dying, unfortunately, a bit too quickly. And Anduin, that Hollywood Salvation, I may have bagged on it at first, but with protection of his front line and his Kel'Thuzad being able to chain people away from him, and all the lockdown meant, even though there was a lot of damage coming out, there wasn't necessarily the interrupts for it, because a lot of those tools were used on Kel'Thuzad to kill it first. Kel'Thuzad actually did a lot of siege for what people expect of Kel'Thuzad, however, Esmeralda did keep it in front. Anyway, I'll quickly transition to this map screen, and I'll quickly mute myself while I set up the third and final map. And we are back. Let's hop straight into the action. Again, on the left-hand side, we see Artful Dodger on the Blaze. Nice Beaver now on the Alarak. I nearly called it Artanis. Wrong Protoss. Varen again on that. And when Dr. Huxtable on Orthea and Dr. Swole on Artanis. That one is an Artanis, not an Alarak. This is a Protoss game. I am now rooting for a certain team. I'm not going to say which one. Denominator is on the... I know your name. Phoenix. I was about to call it Artanis, but again, Arta is on the Lili. Illido on the Anubarak. Sorry about that. Let me just fix things up. Slow Cheetah on the Varian. And we see a Nazebo down bottom. But before I go there, Illido got down to about 30 health before they went down. Nearly close to escaping. There we go. Blanchard on the Nazebo. That Anubarak, very unfortunate, go down just quite that quick. Slow Cheetah does go a nice beaver. Nice beaver does throw out a blade. His Q. It's not even his... Wait, is this his Q? I can't recall. I think Q is a... I can just read. I can do this. His Discord strike, his Q, yes. There's Artful Dodger again, just in the flesh. We see again just some safe play from both sides, as now we just see the general how this map is played of double rotate, see what you can do. Nice Beaver is seen by Arda quite early on, but however, Nice Beaver does miss the pull onto Arda. Blaze nearly gets trapped in the Zebo zombie wall, but however, not much happens with that. Slow Cheetah's getting run down by both Doctors on Dr. Huxtable. A lot of doctors in the house. And Phoenix is just kind of doing Phoenix things of just pushing down a lane and being able to bully most people out of it. Gets hit by the swap, however, is able to phase shift out. Let's have a quick look at talents. We see Blaze going for that unstoppable new habits questing it for, and we see a Pikachu Alarak. Now, I say Pikachu Alarak not as a roofing, but as a it wants to shoot lightning, it is going to shoot lightning. We see that macro build again from Nazebo, and we do see a stacking. I need to check this out. Advanced targeting from the Phoenix. Not my preferred talent, but I also wouldn't be comfortable enough to bring a Phoenix here. So, who am I to judge? I've learned recently in these casts that a lot of what I think what a lot of people say aren't good talents can actually be the right pick by a lot of situations. In a lot of situations, due to comfort. Nice Beaver gets hit by a good combo by Illido. However, Anduin does pull them to safety. We see a run it down variant actually of Twin Blades, and that run it down variant just doesn't quite have enough health to run it down yet. Dr. Huxtable looking to rotate onto this Phoenix and maybe gank them. We do see camps now finally being done by both sides about 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, a minute 20 later than expected. Most camps will, a lot of teams will try to do this over 1 minute, maybe 1 30-minute mark. However, this was left to much later of a 2 minute mark. Naz is just doing his siege thing, his soak thing, getting those stacks up. We're already at 23. Artful Dodger looks like he wanted the stun on it, however, did not get it. Or did not go for it. Okay, they're considering doing his camp during objective, however, objective is up very shortly. Blanchard is here to scout it out if need be, but however, with Nice Beaver coming down, I don't think that would be a good trade. Okay, we see both these bruiser camps taken quite... Well, this bruiser camp's at least taking the right time. We're just a bit more behind on this. Orphea maybe not the best camp clear. However, Artanis did go into that not reactive parry amateur opponent, so will do much better to take it out. These 3 heroes down here means we're probably going to get a push coming into the bot forward, as well. This objective will have at least a man advantage, or will have a number advantage of the... What do you actually call the Shrine Skeletons being taken out at an earlier rate than the team of Private Potato will be able to rotate up here. And we've seen that the rotation's coming out now, but we're already halfway through the objective for 2-team Blechman Street. Private Potato, however, looking to get the kill onto Denominator. Denominator barely getting out fast enough to get away from that swap from the Artanis. Okay, we're at 32 of the Shrine Skeletons now out. Excellent cleanse immediately by Arthur onto Slow Cheetah, meaning they're not rooted. However, we do see Artful Dodger getting collapsed on. Artful Dodger is out of mana, that's very important. Note, Blaze does require that mana quite a bit, as their fires are, but the oil fire is the sustained. Denominator pushing up, getting a lot of those advanced targeting stacks, actually getting their damage slowly up and up. So Cheetah does get hit by a root as... No, just Arda got hit by the root there, sorry. Illido getting good 4-man stun, however, isn't able to do anything else. We had seen that Nazebo has joined the fight, considering they were also late. Arta getting relatively low as well. Lily, good team, can be a very good team fight and sustain hero. However, without their jugs, it can be a bit lacking before 10. I say that, however, Orphea and Alarak did go down first, and there will be an Artanis soon to follow. And that will be the Mortar Punisher over to the side of 2-team Blechman. Now, Mortar Punisher is actually considered one of the best punishers. Best Punisher in the late game. That stun, excellent stun coming out of Artful Dodger. However, we do not see a follow-up coming down from Illido or 2-team Blechman Street. And here we see just run it down variant taking place, just hitting structures, just going for it. Illido actually takes a lot of damage here, as they're not very good at auto-attack heroes, and that will be them going down quite quickly actually inside. In fact, to the side of Private Party. And this will be 2-team Blechman deciding to disengage now. We do see still a lot of damage that's come out onto this fort, as that chaotic mortar is coming out from the Mortar Punisher does a lot. Probably the best one they could have gotten for this early game portion is the Frozen Punisher, as that does have a good lockdown for the buildings. It means running things down is safer. Denominator, excellent phase... Is it called phase shift? It's just called warp, sorry. That one's on me. Phoenix using Warp very effectively in this manner, being able to dodge a lot of abilities. I need to actually check how that is cleared later, but we shall get back to that. Back to the action. It's not a now thing. I do like Denominator, still trying to get this value up here. Denominator actually, a Phoenix, very good for pushing down this building. However, Dr. Huxtable does have a word to say to him about this. Phoenix, a very wide hero considering I've just seen his Mastering Wing. My word. They definitely know more about that hero than I do. I'm never to judge them. Jugs coming out from Lily, as expected. It gives a lot of extra team fight value and can be that little bit to push him over the line. This map a bit more objective phase, so we should see how it plays out, and Anduin may actually be better for the objective as they have a lot of sustained healing with those W's and those Q's. Okay, we see a very standard Purification Salvo coming out. We do see Nazebo picking up the... Oh, Dr. Swap does swap, however that swap is on safety. Denominator, questionable use of that ult, but if you ask certain casters, Phoenix ults aren't much to really be missed if they're down. However, speaking about missed now that they're down, Nazebo hasn't even finished out his Finger of Deep yet, which should be usually finished around this time if they're doing it correctly. That was a very good kill by the side of Private Potato, as being killed slows them down from getting them stacks. Means they may not have that 175 by the time the level 20s come around, the Storm Talons. Oh, and there goes top. Well done, Denominator. Excellent taking that out. Dr. Swalt, you nearly did it. But this is just such a hard hero to run into for most bruisers, as they can if their shields drop down, they can just warp out, let it regen and duel again, while Artanis in particular doesn't have a very good heal outside of his I hit things, I now get my shield. If Phoenix chooses to disengage, then they will have to... Artanis will hope to keep his shield before anything else comes into range to hit. Otherwise he can lose a lot of his health very quickly. Orphea is going for a very dangerous way, but Dr. Swole manages to get out because Because Bugman. Anubarak was in a very safe spot. The Zero's getting run down again by the enemy team. They do look like they have a little bit of a... I've seen this one before this game already. I don't want to deal with it. So now I'm looking at, there's a lot of heroes in this game starting with A. Anduin, Alarak, Artanis, Anubarak. Alarak and Anubarak are way too close to my lighting. Anyway, we see a fight back out here. Denominator getting that that ultimate onto two heroes. Well, Dr. Sword does swap in. Actually, the tank for the side of 2-Team Blechman go out. Yes, Dr. Sword getting relatively low. However, Nazebo is going down before they will. Phoenix is taking out two heroes during this. Artful dodging relatively low. Gets an excellent stun onto both of Denominator and Arta. Taking a lot of damage. Slow Cheetah is also backing out, and that will be a pull coming out onto Arta, but not quite getting the combo off. We did not see a Discord Strike coming out. Dr. Huxtable only just uses a W now and gets the Q out onto Slow Cheetah. However, that will be that fight. And I do actually think, still looking at this, yeah, we do see objective being started by the side of 2-Team Blechman, as I do think at this point in time they do have a better point presence with that Varian, with that Orphea. With Anduin has only just rejoined the fight now. Arta has been up for the whole time as Lily, and now we see Illido. Again, has quite good control of the area, enables dive, however. Varian we see doing a camp during this, and Zebra's only just rejoined. We do see, however, Artanis is still stopped, so we know this Varian has a bit of time. Not quite that much time, however. It's taking the camp now, however. I do like this. I do like that 2-Team Blechman Street's being relatively patient, just waiting for this objective. Varian has walked straight into this bush in a nice beat. They manages to get their protect off in time. However, that is a good crushing jaw combo, doing a lot of damage. Lily is standing in a very safe position, being able to actually get the jugs off without being hit by any swarms of interrupts. Denominator gets an excellent purification salvo out, as that is Orphea going down, then followed by... There's a lot of kills coming out. Oh my word. It was a trade for trade for trade for trade for trade, and that will be Dr. Swole going down last. That is a very costly fight, considering we are in a Frozen Punisher phase. Frozen Punisher, as I was saying before, can shut down buildings with its abilities, and, well, we're going to have quite a late defense coming through from the side of Private Potatoes, as their front line of Artanis and Blaze will be coming in late. This Punisher should get a decent amount of a decent amount of damage here done. We're likely to see this fought for, especially with Varian getting that second siege camp out. However, looks like they'll be posturing to get at least this wave, but maybe bottom camp as well. Nope, we're seeing bottom camp coming first. Interesting choice. That's a very large wave, a lot of experience, but we do now see that Phoenix is picking up. This Anubarak is very alone currently. If they decided to be collapsed upon, they do not have much means of getting out, but Lily has come with the cleanse just in case. This Punisher is about to go down, and there will not be much reason to stay afterwards. Excellent free-man stun by the Frozen Punisher. Does a lot of... has actually a lot of CC. It jumps actually a frequent amount of times, considering what most people think, like, oh, it's once in a while. Maybe it will jump the tank. No, it jumps to the first person it sees, and it will make sure that person is aware that they are being targeted by it. Okay, we're getting to this stage, mid to late game stage of the game, where we just see teams playing relatively safe. I say that. But this Tannis is about to be in for a very rude awakening. Does actually manage to sidestep Illido, however, is unable to sidestep the Q from them. Denominator zoning out the two enemies of Nice Beaver and Dr. Hux already. Slow Cheetah, the only one actually hit by the Crushing Jaws, even though it had a very good placement. Purification Silver sure was used. It didn't unfortunately do much due to only getting bonus damage if the enemies are slowed, and there was no slowing effect onto the enemies there. I do like this map being painted red. It takes a lot of pressure off. It takes a lot of pressure off of them to not actually worry about any of these camps, and it puts a lot of pressure on. We did see that 16s only have just come through from Private Potato now, as we're getting a few pings around the place. People can let know we each other are. Have we only see Slochita and Blanchard? Arter is found. Oh my gosh, we see a momentum. Deadly charge come out. It hits two of them, followed up by a Q. However, Lily and Blanchard's able to get out. Lily did sound like her jugs was cancelled, and we're getting a big team fight. Illidor gets hit by a Q. Dr. Hux will go down to Phoenix. Auto attacks. Blanchard getting dived on by Dr. Swole. Taking a lot of damage. Slow Cheetah trying to best peel him off. Does so. Artful Dodge and then getting hit by double stun by Illidor. Doing a lot of damage. Nice Beaver's getting hit by the Phoenix. Phoenix trying to chase him down. Gets a double lightning off to heal him for a large amount. Getting the baseline quest off. Denominator actually gets scared from that lose because they lost a lot of their health in a very short amount of time. And that will be a Nubrak getting the double stun onto Nice Beaver. Nice Beaver getting pulled out of danger. That means their sadism is saved. I should mention that because of that baseline sadism the level 1 extended lightning being complete, they get 10% of their sadism back. Zebra wants this keep up here. Actually, we'll be backing out as they know that Alarax can be very deadly, especially considering they have a nice deadly charge combo. We see bottom taken down here. I like that. I like that choice. It means that Vera's now this free lane to be pushed up by the Arcane Punisher this time. We do see both siege camps be taken by the side of 2-team Blechman. Deadly charge comes through just a bit late, unfortunately, from Nice Beaver. Does not find anything from it, and they will mean that is now Private Hitter trying to go clear this camp. Dominator does actually get a fair bit of damage out. We see the Weave come out onto Alpha Dodger. Oh my gosh! Slow Cheater is pulled back in. Stun going out to Lily, cancelling jugs, and that will be actually both Orphea and a lot of people just dying again. These are all very big team fights with a lot of people dying. Usually, unfortunately, not in the favor of Private Potatoes. That will actually just be a eject. Okay, we're getting a little bit of everything here. We're getting a push happening by Slow Cheetah. Anubrak's doing this objective, and Azebo is doing bottom. We do see... That's just sad to look at, isn't it? 174 out of 175. I did actually say that gank that did happen on bottom will actually stall them out for a little bit on that baseline, especially now that they're clearing out this middle objective. However, the Zebra just has to hit literally one minion and have it die before, just to get that quest out, so it is no big deal. Okay, we're getting respawns coming through from the side of Private Potato now. However, it is just a bit too late, as that is objective of the Arcane Punisher going over to the side of 210 Blechman. See Slow Cheetah sitting up in this bush, just watching just in case any of the enemies decide to rotate through and seeing if they can catch anyone out. Dr. Huxtable looks to be first to defend. However, I should mention, again, if it's only the Orpheus here, this Orpheus will get jumped first. This is very defensive positioning from the side of 210 Blechman as we see the Punisher jump, but no follow-up coming from it. Artanis did have to use his pure suppression plate, but however was unable to live just due to the heavy dive coming out from the side of 210 Blechman as we see this mid keep go down. They're actually now rotating up to top keep, making this look like it's going to be a free keep phase. However, this Punisher has, unlike 210 Blechman, decided not to focus the keep, instead want to team fight. Something my Storm League teams do a lot, in fact. Again, we're getting some very safe play from the side of 210 Blechman, and now that we also see safe play coming through from the side of Private Potato. Private Potato is very much in a do-or-die situation at this point, while 210 Blechman has all forts and almost all their even actually in first all their structures out, just missing a bottom gate and one bottom towers and gate and one gate here. Nothing missing from top. I do think that Private Potato can still pull this off. They need a very good team fight here. But so far, their grouping has been punished for as they all just kind of deathball, but that is unfortunately how any comps of melee assassins work. You're just getting a lot of people in one small area, and Illidor, Anubrak can punish that as Anubrak Burrow has a very large hit radius when it comes up. We did not see Epicenter being picked up, which is normally the one we see as that hit that increases the stun range, the stun radius at the end of it. However, we still see that they have been they've been hitting their burrows very well, and I would not want to run into them. But we may run into them soon enough, we'll see. I do like the siege being taken down. And then, you cheeky Phoenix. Just taking that building while blue team was looking elsewhere. The blue team at moment of Private Potato is trying their best to keep in this as they now have equaled up 20s. This is very important for them as this is, the Storm talent is probably some of the most powerful talents in the game. We do see the Counter-Strike coming up. They'll actually save Anubrak, Alarak from a lot of damage. That is an excellent 5-man hit of the Purification Salvo, but unfortunately as Anubrak going down first, as Anubrak, while being a very good anti-mage tank, does not have the biggest of health totals. Dr. Soul taking a lot of damage from that Ravenous Spirit. Nice Beaver very much wants Slow Cheetah, however cannot get back in. Blanchard being able to dodge a lot of abilities. Excellent Ice Block coming out. Slow Cheetah goes in a bit back early. Artful Dodge actually regains a lot of health during this. Arda taking a lot of damage. Oh my god, Phoenix taking out 2 on the way out. Actually taking very good use of that auto attack speed from Warp. Gets rooted by the Anduin. The snipe doesn't quite come out from the long range auto attack from stance change. However, they will go, by the looks of it, to end this as they're going to start hitting core. Again, a level 20 Nazebo with his Vial Infection stacks up will do a lot. Denominator decides to teleport on Varan. Varan takes a lot of damage. However, core is actually almost going down faster than Anduin itself. That's GG being called out both sides. That is core falling. That's a lot of pressure, and that will indeed be GG. Very nice, Beaver. Good thing to save you. We did see very comparable healing again. However, Lily did actually beat out the Anduin in this instance. We just saw the Phoenix actually doing a lot of damage this game, like a lot of value from it. I do need to send this to Bahama, a very avid Phoenix hater, but I love the man dearly to a point where I'll just go, Phoenix is the best. I'm talking about I love Phoenix. Baha, wonderful person though. Do not get me wrong. However, we will switch it over to this last screen after quickly showing some talents for anyone else who would like to see them. We did see Shattering Throw coming out from Varian. Just one thing to note, as that does deal with the Artanis shields quite well, especially in the duel. Right, we'll do a quick transition over to here, as I will tick this. Yep, there we go, and we see that 210 Blechman Street was the winner of the series today. I would like to thank anyone who watches this at a later date, as it was, again, quite a late cast, and I did not give nearly enough time for people to see it. And I wish everyone who does watch it have a lovely day, evening, night, depending on where you are. And I will see you in the Nexus.